say a few things about prayer. Prayer is proof producing. Never allow your length and non-result of prayer make you doubt the potency of prayer. Never allow your continuous spending time on the altar but see minimal results make you doubt the potency of prayer. Every man that transversed realms and portals were open to them in the spirit were men of prayer. Elijah prayed, Elisha prayed, Abraham prayed, Paul prayed, Peter prayed, Stephen prayed, Silas prayed. What is this weapon that everyone applies? May I say this today? As you put this in practice and in place, everyone that calls upon God from this season, I see answers coming your way. He has assured us in Matthew 21 verse 22. God has assured us on his desire. Matthew 21 22, Matthew 21 23. He has assured us on desire whatsoever you ask in prayer, you shall receive. Whatsoever you ask in prayer, you shall receive. Anything. In fact, there is a special judgment that awaits the prayerless. Psalm 79 verse 6. Pour down your wrath on nations that call not on thy name. Refusal to pray is opening yourself to attack. Pour your wrath on the hidden that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. He repeated the same thing in Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 25. Pour your wrath on the hidden that do not call on your name. In Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 7. Hosea 7. Hosea chapter 7 and verse 7. We see God expounding the principles of prayer. He says they are all hot as an oven. They have devoured their judges. All their kings have fallen. Why? There is none among them that calleth upon thee. None among them that calleth upon thee. Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 22. Isaiah 43 and verse 22. Isaiah 43, he said, but thou hast not called on me, O Jacob. Thou hast been weary of me, O Israel. You have not called upon me, O Jacob. One time Jesus was about to make a critical decision. He was about to pick apostles, pick disciples, and the Bible says he went to the mountain all night and prayed, and then he chose 12. He went to the mountain, Luke 6 from verse 12, and all night and prayed. After prayer, what decision do you want to make? You want to make a decision? Buy to the mind of God. You want to make a request? Buy to the mind of God. Sometimes I make decisions in the place of prayer. I make inquiries that appear very senseless. I finished preaching one time abroad and I was about to leave. I was asking God, should I leave? That doesn't make sense because you are done with the program. Your ticket says it's time to go. And I had to still ask him, should I go? I was praying. He wasn't saying anything. I was not released to go. Should I go? Now I was done preaching. I am supposed to go. Should I go? And the Lord was silent. I was praying. Almost 10 years ago, I was praying. He wasn't saying anything. I was praying. The next thing, I had them knocking on my door. They said, sir, if we don't leave now, we will not meet the flight. I continued praying. I didn't answer. After a while, the knock intensified. If we don't leave now, we will not meet the flight. I continued praying. After a while, they stopped knocking, which obviously means we have missed the flight. So I said to them, let's go now. I have a release. We can now go. They were looking at me confused. And we went there. We got to the airport and discovered the flight was delayed. Everybody was brought out of the flight. They found a young man that had some wires on himself and had some things inside his bag that they perceived to be a bomb that would have exploded if the plane had taken off. That was why he was keeping me back. That was why he was not saying anything. That intercession was for that guy to be arrested and be detected. But you must understand, how can you have that kind of thing and you pass the screening point? But there is a God that sees all things. There's a God before all things are naked. So you must buy into the mind of God. You must keep inquiring from God. Am I talking to somebody here? People that see prayer as a means of demand do not bother by inquiry. Those that see prayer as an opportunity to demand do not bother by inquiry. They don't pray prayer of inquiry. All their prayers demand. This is what I want. Now, sir, there are times to ask God, what is your mind on this matter?